No,
one thing at a time.
actually that's fine. And I like that it's in an order, you know what I mean? That, this is what you start with and go down. So, and I will definitely dive deeper in that and be back with more questions.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Good work.
And then I want to chime in on this one for the one thing I see people miss the most, and it's not necessarily an Obvio feature, but you do all the hard work to market and get people to actually purchase tickets, and then forget to actually remind them that the event's coming up, and they don't get a reminder until like the day of the event. So typically you want to start reminding people at least 3 to 7 days before the event that the event's coming up, what's going to be happening, and then you can decide in that show up sequence when do you actually want them to access the dashboard and when do you just want it to be a reminder. But that is
So it's the workflow that they're missing.
It's the workflow that they tend to miss, to remind people that, hey, you bought a ticket and your event's actually on starting on this date at this time, all the things that kind of like you got for TVE. We got it a few days beforehand, then we got the tech check-in one, then we got day one starting, occasionally the advanced level move, and that the show up is individual sessions. The minimum is the start of each day. Hey, doors are open, come join us. Do one of those for each of the day 1, 2, 3, as well as the couple days before, reminding them that I got an event. Because you want them to show up. You did all the hard work to get them to buy a ticket. Brett, next question.
Good one. Very good. Thank you, Becky. Congratulations. All the best.
I know, it's about time, yeah? It's about time.
You're making it happen.
Put a date on the calendar, people.
I don't know.
I was telling you, I don't think Blue is here. I'm like, put a date on the calendar and all the questions will flood in. That's it. Be committed to the date, I should say, not just put the date out there. Yeah.
Becky, as someone who used Obvio in the past for our virtual events, you are in great hands and your attendees are going to love it. It's a great software.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually used to use it for my BizBlitz, but a long time ago when so I'm familiar, but yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. Thank you.
All right. Melissa, hey, we've got some questions here.
I think Melissa's Tiffany, but yes.
Yeah, it's actually me. Melissa's the one who opened the account for us, but it's actually me that flooded you.
Okay, no worries. Awesome. Hey, Tiffany. So the first question I've got here, how do we remove the hamburger menu? Yeah, so there's not a way to remove it necessarily. You can, it does serve a purpose in that is where the logout is on a dashboard. But you can hide it if you want by making it the same color as the background, right? So you can, which we have done before.
But when I click on it,
on panels.
Yeah, she's on cards. Actually, you're gonna have a hard time with that.
Well, we're actually looking at using panels instead of cards. So I'm creating a rough version of each for Allison to decide which one she wants, because she feels like she likes the panels because the buttons for all the different CTAs can be live without having to disappear to the top when they're scrolling down for their gamification stuff. So all that and the tools that we're using. So having the ability to have them stay here while everything else scrolls on the right. So we want to do both versions just as templates to try. And every time I click that hamburger menu, it just makes an X.
Yeah, I would like to. Oh, I know what you're talking about. So I would say to you, just first off, what organization are you working in? Did you create a new one inside your account?
Yeah, I made a different organization that just says ignore this for now in front of it, so I can create some rough templates in it that I can play around in while we're waiting for other details that we need. So I just started playing around with some just design elements and just kind of getting comfortable on my own on what we're doing before I start actually building something with you guys.
Okay, so
that's good.
What's actually happening here, just to kind of give you a heads up, I would also say to you, I actually don't think panels, I don't think panels is going to work for you guys, just because I know you have too many, it's going to look fine on your computer. Yeah, you have too many CTAs. It's going to look fine on your computer, but what's going to wind up happening on some people's computers is going to look like this, where you only see a couple of them, and then you have to figure out how to get to the next ones. And actually, right now, you don't have any more than that. Let's see.
Yeah, I hid that because I was showing this morning on a meeting what it's going to look like when they come to check in, what the dashboard would look like, because they only have the check in and the book that strategy session button. So I hid some of them.
So
Because you know how our events work, we hide and unhide throughout the day.
Yeah, totally. But here's the thing. You're going to have a lot of people who, if you have more than 4 buttons open, they can't see the other ones. So they have to click this little down arrow to see the additional buttons, which is confusing to people. It doesn't seem like it would be confusing to click the little down arrow to see more buttons, but it really is. So what winds up happening with this particular template, especially, it's a little challenging if you have more than, I would say to you, because you can kind of see as I expand down, it can get a little bit bigger. But the moment I make my screen too small, which, let's face it, some people who are of a more senior variety, if I zoom my font up, the same problem happens, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the problem comes. Like, I like this template quite a bit, but the problem is definitely going to be that. What I would probably say to you, although I will say I like how this looks a lot.
Yeah.
Good. I've been playing.
Yeah, no, I think this looks great. If you really want something like this, I would take a look at Nifty 50. It has a little more room for buttons than panels, and it has the same thing that Allison likes about the fact that the left hand side goes up and down and the right hand side doesn't, or other way around. But it has a little bit more flexibility. But before we get to that, it's not actually just creating an X. It's actually also showing you some menu items here. The challenge is your menu items are hidden currently because they have some off colors.
So, I didn't even know that was a thing in there yet. I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah. So if I were to do this just like that as a starting point, that's what's actually happening with that. It's not just creating an X, it's giving you the other resources that are available, which are also available across the top of the panel right there.
Okay,
so that's what that little hamburger menu is doing. But to Grant's point, if you wanted to hide it, your best bet is to make the bar background color and the menu, the bar, where is it? It's going to be this one, isn't it? The bar text color, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? No. Is it
Yeah.
that?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I changed the bar text color already because I didn't want any words up there. So I changed that to match. But I mean, ultimately, if I didn't want that bar to be there at all.
The one here on the left?
Yeah, would I just have to make it fully opaque?
Yeah. Does that even work? I don't. Yeah, I think the reality is you can't. So that bar, it serves a purpose, so that's why it doesn't go away. So you can make the.
I think now that I know that the font color changing actually gives them access to that menu list that's on the right side. Now it makes sense why it's there. I didn't realize that was the thing. But the reason why the cards one we were thinking of veering away from also is because it only has the ability to have those 2 rows of buttons at once, which then, when we have, like in our old example, when I opened all the buttons, right? So every CTA was live at once, like you're looking at right now. When I had the cards version open in my test version, or actually in our old one, it showed the buttons were like smaller and smaller and smaller. So if we were to stick with the cards version, is when you have different CTAs, does that mean that the buttons will be larger if there's only 2 CTAs? Like if the join the event is the big one on top, right? We don't change that at all. And then all the little CTAs underneath, are they going to be larger when there's only 2 showing at once instead of 5?
Yep.
Okay. That's good to know too then. Thank you.
That's, yeah, no worries.
And is there another, I mean, besides Nifty 50, are those the only two that allow for that side-by-side view?
They're the only ones that allow for the side-by-side to be locked. Yes. Is that right, Grant? The other ones are Classic definitely doesn't. Cards doesn't.
No.
Town Hall doesn't.
It's where it's it's kind of like panels in the sense that
And
the
Lefty doesn't. Yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah the main content can flow while you still keep the buttons on the side.
Mhm.
It just depends how much content you're going to have further down, because if
A
it's
lot.
mostly about if it's mostly about the buttons, people will
Blue's
find them at
giggling,
the
he
top.
knows. No, it's a lot of content.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, are these all the buttons?
At this
Kind of,
moment,
right?
yes, at this moment, according to our agenda, those are all the buttons that I know we are going to be accessing throughout the event. Now, again, the links that I put in there are old links. They're not valid at the moment.
I get it.
As
Yeah.
far as but those are the buttons that we'll be using.
The big question
So
is
you're
how many are active at once. That's
that's what
So
I'm
at
kind of looking
at the same time, the most that will ever be live at one point in the event, at any point in the event, will be 4.
Then you're probably safe with
Might be okay.
cards. Or sorry, with panels.
Okay.
But I would also say to you that I wouldn't make them too big. So like if I was going to do it, I would probably I would make it a little bit smaller than you think it should be and have it be more like that, right? And possibly even just scale down your width a little bit to make it feel a little bit more normal. So
Okay.
I would do something like this and have them all be that size, because again, on your computer, it's going to look fine, right? But somebody is invariably going to look at this and be like, I only see 3 buttons. And it's going to be somebody who has zoomed up their fonts because they can't see worth a crap.
And then it looks wonky too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the concern around, that's the real concern around panels. And the main reason why I actually don't use it anymore. Like we panels was, I think, the second template that we designed. And generally speaking, we try to shy away from it. Unless
So
I know
you'd
there's only
say-
going to be like 3 or 4. If there's only ever going to be 3 or 4 buttons, then I usually feel okay with it. But outside of that, that's the only time. So if you think 3 or 4, then yeah, maybe.
I'll go back through our agenda and look and can figure all that out before we go further with it all.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest, that would be my biggest concern around it, Tiffany.
Thank you.
What other questions did you have? I know that was that may have been a multifaceted question.
Well, real quickly on the same token with the button size, when you have more than one line of text, it kind of forces the button to be taller as well. So it's one of the things when we use panels is trying to keep the button names or the button text relatively short for the same thing Blue's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would, instead of book my scale strategy session, I would say like book scale session or something like that.
If I can convince Allison to let me change some verbiage, I definitely will.
Good luck with that. But you can also like knock it down to like a 15 point like that. Right. So you can have joined the event a little bit taller, and then some of the bigger ones just knock down their just a touch.
Yeah. You're not showing your screen anymore. I do know what you're saying.
Yeah. And I am messing with it directly on your version, so that would give you a couple.
I'm fine with that.
A couple of points.
You go right ahead.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I like that. I love how this looks, though, just in general.
Thanks. It's my first time getting to have this opportunity to work on the dashboards myself. So I'm really, ignore my downloadable resources thing. That I'm definitely going to need help with. I'm not quite there yet to ask those questions on this meeting yet because I don't have the tools yet that I need to use. So I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, there's probably some.
Yeah, that one's a
styling that
mess. I
needs
made a boo boo. Yeah. That's for next week. Next week's Q&A meeting. I'll be ready to chime in with how to get our PDFs / resources to look the way I want them to look on these dashboards.
Yeah, this particular template has some. What's the word I'll use?
Opportunities.
Yeah.
That was polite, Grant. I feel like that's not the route Blue was going, but that was polite, Grant.
No,
well, because I love the way like the virtual backgrounds, the way you guys have that built so you can see an image and then click on download. That's how we want our resources to look. We want the image where they click on it to download. So again,
yeah.
I'm not quite ready for that yet.
That's good.
Well, that's good because it probably won't happen.
Doesn't exist.
Even better. I love the honesty.
Because what winds up happening, is the whole thing clickable or just that? I think it's just that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in your guys' Zoom backgrounds, every image was clickable. So I was like, well, I'm going to wait on this question.
Zoom backgrounds works a little bit differently than this does.
Okay, I thought it was something you guys loaded in a specific way to make it appear that way. Okay.
No, it's how the Zoom background function works.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of my questions that was still related to those buttons while we were on the button thing was, is there a way to opt out of having the hover color change? Like, so that when you hover over it just stays one color. Is that an option?
Yep. Yeah, it is. It's a little, what you have to do is you just have to, well, honestly, you just match it, right?
Yeah.
So if this is your color, you would just paste this down here and match your opacity. And now when you save it, now the button doesn't change. Now the text, but then we would just then you would just do this, right? So,
okay.
Yeah, so now that won't change. The one thing to just be aware is now there's zero indication that you're hovering over that it's clickable. So I would probably have something in there, even if it's just like a minor text change.
Like a little bit of like a hue difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I see.
Yeah. Something. And you can, if you uncheck customize hover background, it'll by default just go like it'll change the opacity just slightly. Which if you leave the font color as white in this case, that's the default. You see that?
Yeah.
But if you're like, you know what, Blue, that sucks, then no problem. Then customize your hover background, and you may want to make it a little brighter on hover, in which case, you just you copy the color, click this, and then just use your the picker, and now when you hover over it, it brightens a tiny bit.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, you can change that for sure.
Okay.
And you can also have the hover be like a little bit, you can change the opacity a little bit so you can kind of see behind it if you really wanted to. There's a few different things that you could do. But yeah, just mess around with it. There's a lot of options.
Awesome.
Blue, can you turn up a little bit? Turn up your sound, turn up your mic a bit.
Is that better?
I just bring it closer. If that won't happen.
Yeah. Well, there. How's that?
Yeah,
I bumped it a little bit as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good. All right. Cool. How are we going? We've still got a bunch of questions. Did we cover some of them, or should we go through them, Tiffany?
I think we covered the
I
first
definitely
one.
have.
We covered the
The
first one.
first two. You
All
got
right.
the first two.
Okay, 10 to go. That was 6 to go. You said about the update the FAQ section for attendees to see in real time. Be able to add membership FAQs after the offer.
So like the way you
Yeah.
can hide and unhide things, is that doable in that FAQ section too? So like if I have yeah, okay.
The answer is
Muddy's
yes.
giving me a thumbs
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. You see, it's just enable, disable. That's it.
So so I can, every question can have its own disable. Okay, perfect.
Yep. Yeah. So right now it looks like you have them all disabled, except for
I haven't
question
done
3.
anything here yet.
Okay. But
That was whatever was set up.
but yeah.
Template.
Yep, just each question has an enable disable. The other thing you can do, Tiffany, depending on how brave you are, you could have a series of FAQs that are about the offer, put them enabled, and then go to rules, and it's not there. Fuck me.
Let's be real. Setting the timing on something like that, Blue.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not that brave. I'm gonna have to do that live in real time, and that's
Well,
fine
there you
with
go.
me.
Then that's the only way you can do it apparently with FAQs.
No,
Perfect.
if you go into
Good.
rules, Blue, there is a time rule. It's just not separate boxes.
Oh, weird.
Oh yeah. You have to click on time to get to pull. Okay.
How's that the only place that is like that?
Which
There you go,
okay, that
Justin.
brings me to another question.
Something new to change.
That brings me to a different
Funny
question.
enough,
now.
we actually have a story to make them all that way, or to get rid of the drop down and just go with the boxes, because we have some that actually have both options, which makes it even more confusing.
I have to say it wasn't that confusing. I just didn't see it in this one. But
It's
so
good.
question though, is it
Yes.
able to be set up where, like, let's say, okay, I don't know exactly when I want it to turn on, but I know when I want it to turn off. Can I set just the closing time or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So, and that's under rules with time. You have show from and show until. It would be show until that you're setting, and just leave show from blank.
Okay. Perfect. Because there are a few things that I know will need to disappear at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, and it's a good way. It's a good way to run the event in a sense as well. That I often talk about how the way that we do these events should be flexible. You shouldn't be bound by time and space, right? You don't have to have something happen before lunch because you've got to get everyone out into the lunch area, right? Like your event will flow, and so it could be that it runs an hour later than you intended because you had a great coaching session or a whatever, right? And so you don't want your dashboard preempting things for you because you haven't got, you've timed it all, and now you get all stressed out because your time is not exactly right. So just having those enables and disables. And then there are certain things you'll know, like you may have a day 2 welcome, for example. Well, yeah, sure, you could set that to come on at 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever you want. You know that that's really flexible. And same with, you don't want the day 1 thing to be there. You want that to turn off at midnight or whatever. You could totally automate some of those things while still maintaining the flexibility of your event to ebb and flow as it needs to, Yep. Do we have access to the unique URL back half, as in the domain name? So there's a couple of domain name options, but we don't currently support a totally custom domain name. So did you see those? There was a couple of other options there when you're selecting it in the event settings. It doesn't have to be Obvio. Did you see that? There is.
I just got one of the trainings I was on. Either one of the two of you mentioned, having the ability to have different back halves at the end, and I didn't.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, so these are the ones. Okay, so I'd probably just keep it at that point at Obvio.
Mm-hmm.
And obv.io is the shortest, right? So it's
Yeah, that's why I
the
keep
least.
that. Yeah. Cool.
Mhm.
That, just so you know, Tiffany, that can't be changed once you have attendees in your
Oh, yeah.
event.
I hope to not change anything once we load people in.
Nice, like that.
That's my goal.
I guess this is related a little bit to what we were just talking about. Can we have a button disappear for the attendee once they perform the call to action? So
Yes.
yes, yeah. Depending on how you have it set with your
They're going to use
CRM.
they're going to use either GHL or HubSpot. Sorry, I know a little bit about what's going on. So
Hey.
I have you at an advantage, Grant.
Well, don't you always, Blue? And
No, not
this is the thing
necessarily.
that I assume that you know a little bit more. That's all right. I was trying to get I was trying to get an answer in to buy myself some time to get in the car to take my kids to school. But while you were answering, yeah, that's all it was. So take it away.
That's
But
awesome.
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm just going mobile.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so the short answer is yes, you can hide things once somebody has purchased, Tiffany. So how that's going to work, well, that's not the right thing to share with you guys. How that's going to work is going to be based on, let's just use GHL as the example for now, okay? So inside of when you have an attendee, they're going to be, when they're brought into Obvio, what's going to wind up happening is, in addition to their first name, last name, and email address, they're going to be they're going to get all of the tags that exist inside of GHL. Okay, and as you apply new tags throughout the event, those tag additions will sync into Obvio automatically. So what you'll do is you're going to have a tag that you'll apply through a workflow or automation inside of GHL when somebody purchases your CTA. Okay. And then what you do is inside of Obvio for, let's say, the start your scaling journey, let's say that's your CTA button, you would go to rules and you say add a rule and show component when tags does not include CTA buyer or whatever your tag is.
Don't change your screen yet. I want to take a screenshot, please. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And then you click save and it shows up like this. So now anybody who purchases, assuming you are applying the tag CTA buyer, will not see that particular button.
Oh, awesome. I love that. That's very simple too.
Yes,
I feel like that's that's user friendly, in my opinion.
It is, yeah. And the fact that it syncs up with, now if it's HubSpot, it's going to work a little differently, but I'll help you with the HubSpot setup. As I said, once you guys make a decision.
It's a property, not a tag.
Yeah. But we have basically what we use as kind of a best practices with HubSpot is there is a way to, I'll just call it fake tags for your event. And we'll walk through that if you decide to use HubSpot. If you decide to stick with GHL, it'll be a little easier.
Okay.
And then for this one as well, there's a question that you didn't necessarily ask, but I think is just as important. Once you hook up one of those services, on that main screen where he was editing the button, you'll get another field on there that allows you to add a tag when they actually click the button. So that then you could run say the joint events, a common one we run, you might have a check-in workflow running. And once they click that, you assume that they've now launched into Zoom. So you can take them out of that workflow. So you don't keep telling them, come join Zoom, because then they all respond, yeah, I'm already in Zoom.
Okay. So the same
you
process.
You can do that for all the buttons.
For every CTA, doesn't matter what is, and that allows me to get numbers in real time as well and data. So the back end marketing can be able to send reminders to those who haven't checked in yet right away without having to manually do something.
Haven't sent reminders in. The other thing that is nice with what about too is you can see who the hot leads are. So you know they at least clicked on the CTA button. The process Blue went through said they've already purchased the CTA, but all those people that go between I clicked on the button and I purchased, if by using what I was just talking about, now you can actually capture those so you know who are the hot leads that are at least interested enough to go view the sales page.
Okay, on the button clicks.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Blue,
so
I'll deal with that later too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just
so
something for you to
you
keep in mind.
Yeah, you can't do
Go ahead,
that until you've actually connected your integration.
CRM.
But
Yeah.
but basically there's right down here, there's she probably needs to go out. Is that what it is? That one? This one? She definitely needs to go out. Hi, baby. Okay. So yeah, right there's going to be an area where you can apply a tag in GHL or apply a tag in HubSpot, which is not really a tag, but same idea. And that would happen on click. So to Justin's point, for your start your scaling journey, yes, you would have the tag when they buy to hide it, but you also have like a hot lead tag or like clicked the button tag applied when they click on it, so that your sales team can follow up specifically with people who clicked but didn't purchase.
I love this. Oh my God. You guys have really came through on this, like upgrades on me. This is awesome.
There's a lot of stuff in there since the last time you guys used it, for sure.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Cool.
Blue, you have the question list. You need me to read them off? Yeah, I got them.
I'd love for you to read them off because I'm in her org. So
the next question that she had was, where can you find the recordings for Zoom inside of Obvio?
Cool. So that one's a little easier. It is inside of Zoom areas. You're going to go into the main stage that you've created. And in the main stage, if there's only one Zoom room there, it's going to be right here under recordings. Now, right now, I don't know that you're actually going to have any because you haven't had any recordings yet, but that's where they'll show up. Now, for areas like, here, let's do this. Once you have more than one room inside of an area, then the recording button doesn't show up here. You have to click on the room itself in order to get to the recordings button. But that's what you're looking for. It's in Zoom areas.
Okay.
Okay. What's the next question? Oh, and Tiffany, you're going to be able to download actual recordings, but you also can download transcripts and chats.
That was gonna be my other question, was the transcripts. Awesome.
Yep. You can also download the audio. There's a bunch of stuff that you can download. I actually can't remember what all of them are, but it's like there's a gallery view, there's an audio only file, there's a speaker, there's everything.
Pretty much if you go into a Zoom account under cloud recording and check every box, that's pretty much what you get for recordings. So every option: speaker, gallery, shared screen, speaker and shared screen together, audio, transcript, chat, and the AI summary or AI companion summary from Zoom. Pretty much everything there for you. And then next question that you had on the list is, when you import the attendees into Obvio, does that...
You've got two people who raised their hands that might have questions related to what I just talked about. Sorry, I don't want to bogart the whole meeting.
Well, I was just going to tell you that when you have recordings in there, it will show a screenshot of the recording and there's a download button. That's the main recording, but then there's a drop down, which is how you'll access kind of underneath that thumbnail. There's a drop down, which is how you'll access all of the other versions of the recordings, the audio only, the speaker view only, gallery view. And if you had a screen share in the meeting, There's other options related to screen share. If you didn't have a screen share, you might have like 5 options. If you did do a screen share, there might be like 7 or 8 options in the recordings.
Thank you.
And then one last note on recordings. We only guarantee they'll be there for 60 days, but we highly encourage you to download them as soon as you can. Okay. And Blue, next question. When you import the attendees into Obvio, does that automatically send them a notification to give them access to the dashboard?
Not on our end. That would be, I mean, technically you can turn on something from our end that does that. But for you guys, Tiffany, you should do that inside your workflows. So what we'll do, again, when we set up your integration, when the attendee is added into Zoom, or sorry, added into Obvio, and we write the login URL back into your custom field in either GHL or in HubSpot. We also have the ability to add a tag at that same time that can trigger an action like send an email when this tag is applied. So you guys would handle that internally, just based on, you know, the warmness of your domain. Basically, if you don't need to send emails from Obvio, you shouldn't.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I just wanted to make sure that when I start like the testing process per se. Okay, cool.
Nope. Nothing gets sent from us. Yep, nothing gets sent from us.
Thank you.
Sorry, may I just ask a question about you were talking about what files can be downloaded.
Sure.
My use case is not exactly like the traditional ones that maybe the other people that are on the call are. It's more of a corporate thing, which I'd love to chat to someone about later and separately. But the way we've run our live streams has been with a Q&A function. So everybody puts questions in the Q&A that our facilitator basically answers. Is that still possible with Obvio?
It is. Yeah, you can do it two different ways.
Okay.
There's 2 different ways that you can do it. Inside of Obvio, so inside of Zoom, inside of where is it? Inside of when you're creating an area, you have the ability to enable the Zoom Q&A function. It's disabled by default, but so ignore the version that I'm in. You're probably on your phone, so this is going to be a little bit small. But here, I'll see if I can scale it a little bit better for you. So when you come in here and you click New Area and you name it, there's some options, and one of them is Enable Zoom Q&A. By default, it's disabled, but you can enable it and then click Create. Now, when you do that, what that translates to is inside of Zoom, the chat function is there, like you said, but so is the Q&A function. So that's one way you can do it. Another way that you can do it is, which depending on your event and what your outcome is, you may want to consider using a form on the dashboard to allow people to submit questions, which is exactly how we're doing it in this meeting, right? So we don't have the Q&A function enabled here. We have an ask a question form on the dashboard. Now, there's 2 upsides to that. Number 1, people can submit a question outside of being in the meeting, right? So they can submit their questions in advance or afterwards. Number 2, you can perform actions on those question submissions. So if you wanted to, as an example, tag people inside of your CRM platform who submitted a question, you can do that. So there's some additional flexibility that comes with using forms that doesn't exist inside of Q&A. The downside to it is they have to go back to their dashboard to submit their questions rather than just using the Zoom Q&A function. So in your case, my guess is you'll probably lean into just the Zoom Q&A, but yes, you can just enable that.
Thanks so much.
Cool.
Thank you.
No worries.
And then
What else we got, Justin?
Yep. Our last question from Tiffany. Can Obvio be accessed from a tablet or phone?
Yes. Yeah, so two versions to that answer. You can both the admin area that you use can technically be used from a tablet, well, from a phone. There are certain pages that are a little bit challenging to use on a phone, like some of the editor pages and so on and so forth. But I think you're probably talking about attendees.
Yeah,
And
I won't be
attendees
mobile.
can, yeah, attendees can 100% access it from a mobile device. The dashboards are all mobile responsive, including panels, actually. And if you want to see what that looks like, just resize your dashboard or your browser window to be as small as it can be widthwise, and you'll get a sense of what it looks like.
And I did have one more question that I forgot to add. Sorry.
Go for it. Go for it.
And thank you all on this call for this. So I know in panels specifically, when it comes to like a speaker headshot and bio or any of those kinds of things, you can't hide the bio. So like you can't have an image, the headshot, you can't have it clickable to then open the bio. The bio has to be next to it. Are any of these templates built to where the bio can be hidden until either hovered over or clicked on?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah,
because
just
you have so many speakers? Is that what you were thinking?
It's not for the speakers portion. It's just something that Allison prefers is to have it where, because she doesn't want people to get too sidetracked during an event, where if they want to learn more about, let's say, one of the speakers, or they want to learn more about one of our team members, like one of our mentors, then she wants them to have the ability to look at it without going to another website. But she doesn't necessarily like a long page that they have to scroll down where they get sidetracked and they start reading this instead of paying attention to the event.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I would submit to you and to Allison that people likely won't get distracted reading speaker bios. While the event is happening. And honestly, if they are getting, like Tiffany, between you and I, if they're getting distracted watching speaker bios while the event is happening, the event needs to be more interesting. Like the speaker bio isn't your problem. Like they'll get distracted by a butterfly floating by if that's the case. Like seriously, speaker bios are not interesting to read. Period.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
But I've had the exact conversation you're having with Allison, so I also understand how that goes. So, but the short answer to your question is no. They're not. There isn't a way to hide them, or to have them be. I think what you're asking is, can they be collapsible?
Oh, yeah, it's collapsible.
Yeah. Now, with that being said,
I mean, I know I can do it where like it's not so much the speakers portion. I'm not so concerned about that because we only have a few speakers for this one, like special speakers outside of our actual teams, like our mentor presenting. It's more the meet the team page, right? With all the mentors, because we have 40 of them now, right? So, but I know I can do like a small image and the wording be beside it and then just kind of rotate them, right? So at least it makes it smaller, not so scrollable. So I did look into that, and I know that is an option I can do for sure. I just didn't know if there's any other options I can do for that piece.
Yeah. No.
No is an answer. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not the answer you're looking for, but the short answer is no, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, that's totally fine. 98% of everything else is exactly what we want. So
cool.
Tiffany, I'd say too, based off what you just mentioned of the number of mentors, I would think about, is there a landing page somewhere that you could put that in, not Obvio? Like the sheer amount of time to get that and style it the way you want, probably way more than you probably want to spend.
Yeah, I definitely
But if you had a landing page in HubSpot or GHL, you could really do that design and then just put somewhere on there, like whether it's under the resources, put a link over to see more about mentors or put a button somewhere on the dashboard. Might be an easier solution.
I love that feedback, Justin, because I was actually thinking about that earlier today. I was like, well, what if I had, because I know we don't want to go to the website per se, but if I had like a meet the team page where, let's say, on Obvio on their dashboard, they just see the picture of the person. And if they want to learn more about that specific mentor, then they can go to this Meet the Team page, which is specifically just the mentor bios, right? I was kind of thinking the same thing. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, you could do something like that, or just a straight link that just says meet the mentors. But something that's just a little easier than you having to design it all inside of Obvio. That takes a little bit. And then it's not super reusable because chances are you probably are going to use meet the mentors and more than just the Obvio page.
Yeah. True.
And then I do want to just give one more little advice for if you haven't already. I would go under the attendees for your 2 test dashboards and add yourself in so that you can actually get a link to view it as an attendee.
Yeah, I've got that in my notes to start on tomorrow.
Yeah, the preview is close, Tiffany, but it's really just meant as this is kind of what it's going to look like. If you add yourself as an attendee and then log in as that attendee, that'll show you exactly what it looks like.
When doing that, do I need to attach a CRM at that point?
No.
Nope.
You can just add yourself manually.
Okay.
Yeah, just go to the attendees page, and on the attendees page, right at the top left, there's an add attendee.
Go to attendees page.
The other thing it'll allow you to do is that once you add yourself, you can also go view it on your phone, so you can see what it's going to look like if someone is mobile.
Yeah. So Tiffany, I've added myself in one of your samples, right, in your panels testing. So, but you just click add attendee, first name, last name, email, add, and then you click on the person's name, and you get their login URL, which you can just click on this little icon here that says login as attendee. And now I'm logging in to your dashboard as an attendee.
And it takes you straight to the waiver page, just phase 1.
Because I haven't checked in, right? Exactly. And now it's asking me to complete my check-in, which is probably to actually talk to somebody.
Goes into the Zoom, yep.
Exactly. So for now, what I'm going to do is come back over here and click check in, because right now there's nobody there to check me in, right? So I'm going to do it manually. When I check myself in, within a couple of moments, I get redirected to the dashboard, which is the exact experience that the attendees are going to have.
Can you reverse and do that piece one more time so that while I'm testing things, I can do that? Sorry.
Yeah, so you just check yourself out by clicking on the button. And that I think you actually have to refresh for. And when you do, you land on the check-in page. Okay? And so this is, you can take a look at what the check-in page looks like, complete my check-in. That takes them into Zoom where whoever's doing your check-in, if that's you, you can check people in. But to manually check them in, you just come here and click, when you're testing, you just click check in on the attendee page. And then within a couple of moments, it redirects the user to the dashboard.
Oh, that's super helpful to know. Thank you. Yeah, because I was going to try to I was literally talking to Jennifer about that today. She's like, well, when can we start testing? I said, well, I don't want to connect to CRM and then be told that's not the CRM we're using and have to redo it all. I said, so I will find out on my meeting today. So
yeah, no, you just create a sample attendee, and you can always delete you can delete that attendee later. You just come in here and click the trash button, and that'll kill them.
Okay. Don't they kill? It will remove
them from your event.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. That's super helpful.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you all. You all just gave me more insight than I even realized I needed, and I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
Happy to do it.
You are welcome. And Blue, next question is from Kat King. She has a dashboard that she has designed for her event called Monday Sessions. And she was wondering, could we look at that and then help her get the magic link for GHL all set up?
Yeah. Is it growing with Cat King? Probably.
It is growing with Cat King. Then you'll see a Monday strength session.
Monday strength sessions.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
I just tested it on the phone because my little bar at the bottom had this weird kind of thing on it. I think, I don't know, there was a word there or something. So I made it fatter so you couldn't see the word. And I'm trying to resize it on my phone and resize it there, and it's okay now. So that was one of my questions, but I figured it out.
Cool.
Okay. On my phone, though, the two buttons are like right next to each other. I don't know if you can see this, like right next to each other. Is there a way? Yeah, there you go. That's what it looks like. Is there a way to like separate them out a little bit, or is it okay like that? Never mind. It's okay like that. I don't care. Never mind.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
I would. Okay, fair enough.
It looks
so
good
what
enough.
I would say,
yeah.
What I would say to you, first off, I don't think there is a way, because I think you're using resources, and I think that I don't think there's a setting for that, Cat. No, there isn't. But what you may want to consider, like there is actually some space between them. So here, just hear me out. I'm not advocating for this color. I'll return it back to the way it was. So
Okay.
if it was when it's white, you can see that there actually is a space between them.
Oh, okay.
Right? But the minor challenge is the color that you have chosen as your background image is very similar to the top of the button.
Okay.
So it makes
It's
it
the
harder
gradient.
to see. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it
No
makes it
biggie.
harder to yeah, but that would be the reason why it looks like that. What you may want to consider is making the YouTube channel and the Facebook group the same color. Like the same style. So here, can I play with this? Do you mind?
Go for it, Blue. I'd be honored.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to suggest is something like this, where you have a gradient that is you have a gradient that's a little darker, like the top one, and then when you hover over it, the gradient disappears. So the bottom half of the button doesn't change, but the top half does, to kind of fill in the rest of the gradient. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So personally, I like that style. You may not, and you can of course change it back. But then what I would do is I would do the exact same style on your on this other one. So it'll be a little bit easier to make out.
I know it's something real minor.
Yeah, but
my other things I figured out while y'all were working.
So here now do you see how?
Yeah.
How you're?
I like it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
And Blue, the other thing I think that could make them stand out is you could put a little bit of a border on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then that would make it very obvious.
So no, that's a really good point, Justin. So we could actually fake space between it by taking the background color of your section and adding a border color that matches that, like this, and making like a 10-point radius or 10-point width. And now, I don't know that this is exactly what you were suggesting, but now there's space between them.
Okay, it's cool.
Now, the reality is the button technically starts outside of where it looks, because there's actually a border that is the same color as the background, but it kind of accomplishes what you're asking.
It's all good. It looks good. Thank you.
So no, that wasn't the hack that I was suggesting, but that is the hack that works. I was going to just put a real border on it.
Yeah.
When you could actually see. But that is a way to get width for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I think that was a little too much. I'm going to bring it down to 5. All right, cool. Any other questions, Kat? Or does Kat have any other questions submitted?
I'm trying to, okay, so the lead magnet, I'm getting the lead magnet because I'm trying to get enough people to my actual event to sign up. So I'm trying to develop, they get the lead magnet, then I'm going to invite them to the Monday meetings so that over the next few months, I can get enough people to trust me enough to want to go to the event. So that's what these are. I was trying to do that Zoom meeting, but I decided to do an official Obvio meeting with the dashboard and the whole bit. Okay, for these, and I can talk to Justin later. For these, I assume the best way to go is to have their magic link, right?
For your attendees?
Yeah, if they know that they can come in any Mondays that they want to, and it's the same link that they're going to have.
I would, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is just step number 2 of me trying to get people to my event.
Sign up could be used for that because it's just free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should I make it that way so it's just easier?
It could be easier because it's the same link. Yeah.
Could I keep records as well as if they don't have a magic link, or do I keep records better about each person if they have a magic link?
It's the records are just as reliable with sign up. The only possible, I wouldn't worry about what I'm about to say, Kat. Okay. But the only possibility is like I could come this week as Blue Melnick with blue@poweredbysage.com, and then I could come next week with Blue Melnick and blue@bluemelnick.com. And technically I would be 2 attendees in your event, but I don't think that matters for you. I wouldn't worry about that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. That's all. I just want to make sure I'm doing the next step the right way. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Looks good, Kat.
Well,
and Blue, could you share Kat's dashboard again? The one thing I noticed that is her main stage button actually is not hooked up to a Zoom area, even though she has one created. You just show hooking that up for her.
It's because I deleted the other one because I was trying to add the Q&A with Tiffany. I just learned with Tiffany.
Perfect. And it looks like you've already got Go High Level hooked up since I saw it when Blue was editing the button.
Yeah, I just haven't hooked up main stage.
Perfect.
Yep.
I didn't see, but did you just hook up main stage?
I did.
Yep. You did?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, you can double check it, but when you go into the it's right here.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
I wanted to add the Q&A also. I wanted to test that out. See, I've never done it before, so I wanted to try it out. And it's like, I'm going to do, because it wouldn't let me add it just where I had it, made me delete it, and then I could add it.
Yeah, the area settings can only be modified on creation of the area.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
All of y'all, sirs. Thank you. And Tiffany, too.
Blue, our next question is from Bill Crane. Asked, is there training someplace on how to connect Go High Level so we can import as attendees? I don't think we have training right now, but I'm sure we could probably... Yeah, we do not have training, but I'm sure you could share out and walk through.
It doesn't even have to be training if it's simple. I'm an expert with Go High Level.
Perfect.
You can just tell me.
Yeah, for you, I can just tell you then, since if you go underneath attendees and services and you click on Go High Level, you are going to see a button underneath there that says authorize. It'll ask you to log into your Go High Level. If you are an agency and you have more than just your account, it'll ask you to pick which one of the many sub accounts are on there. If you only have your sub account, you'll pick that. Once that's hooked up, the next screen, we're going to give you the tag that you need to tag attendees, but they automatically get imported into Obvio. And then you'll tell it what you want the magic link URL field to be. You can either create it if you don't already have one. There's a create button there. or you can search for one if you've already got it created. Then you click the save button and click the import button. And once you tag your attendees and go high level, it'll automatically start importing them at that point. A pretty simple process to walk through, Bill.
That's amazing.
Are you able to show us where to find that magic link in DHL?
For you, Tiffany, I would say for the Go High Level and HubSpot piece, I have a feeling Blue is going to help you get all that stuff set up for your stuff.
Never mind, disregard.
Then you don't have to worry about it as much for you. And Bill, I would say,
thanks, Justin.
Try it out. If you get stuck on it at all, you can either come into one of these calls, or if you actually are on your Obvio page, there's a little chat button in the lower left that you can chat with a support person, or you can email help@obv.io outside of this call, and someone can get back to you with the answers to questions.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Blue, for next question, I see Jaylene asked one in the chat. If we could give an overview of how to connect to ClickFunnels. Let you take that one because I don't have a ClickFunnels account.
Yeah. How do you connect to ClickFunnels? So basically, the process is fairly simple. You go into under attendees, there's services, and you click on the ClickFunnels option. It'll ask you to sign in, which basically syncs up your account. And then with ClickFunnels, we work with tags. So what you have to do is you have to apply a tag to your contacts in ClickFunnels that you want to import for this specific event. And then you have to create a custom field, or they actually call it something different in ClickFunnels. I'm trying to remember what it is, and the name is escaping me in this moment. But if you were to go into the Leap Tech Day that we did in August of last year, I think it was, the one that was the ClickFunnels Tech Day, at the end of the day, I demoed the connection between Obvio and ClickFunnels. So I don't have it up in front of me, but I know I did it there. So because you're in Leap, you'd be able to find that. Cool.
And that is our last pre-submitted question.
Cool.
For those that are on the call, do any of you have questions? If so, you can raise your hand up and we will take them as we see them. Feel free to unmute yourself. And so, Rose, I see your hand up. Go ahead and unmute it. And what is your question?
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I had to go off camera because I have to drive to another meeting. But I would like to know, again, I know a little bit about Obvio because I myself have been a participant early on in some of your TVEs, your third one and your second one, I believe. I really love the platform. I have a use case that's a corporate use case with, more different kind of needs, like not really needs, but it's kind of like not the traditional, I guess, clients that I know Obvio serves, much of the coaches and different clients. So I was just wondering, is it possible to do a quick meeting with someone just to kind of talk to you about what our needs are and see if it could help? I could give you a little bit of background quickly. It's a live.
Why don't you give us a bit of background?
So we've done 2 of these already for a large automotive client, and it's basically a live stream over the course of 3 full days and 2 half days, and individuals, join. It's a training really on product, and so what we have is on site, we've got a director and a technical director who runs the OBS for us. And we've got segments of the presentation that are video, and then there's live segments, which again, kind of like what these current clients have. And then we have the opportunity for participants to ask questions. So it's really just a product training on you know, a new automotive product, and we've used Zoom. Like, that's kind of it. So what we're trying to elevate what we are offering the client. And I think maybe there's some stuff we could do with Obvio that would help us do that. So I just wanted to kind of explore what that would look like.
Yeah.
And who the person is that I should chat with next.
I mean, honestly, this call is a great opportunity for that conversation. And, you know, if we have any additional questions, we can figure it out. But, you know, we have another 40 minutes on this particular call and nobody has their hand raised. So let's chat. So here's my initial thought, just as you say it, is your use case from a corporate perspective is actually not all that dissimilar from what we do in our normal events, outside of the fact that maybe there's not enrollment. The main thing that I could see this being intriguing for is that you could create a really nice custom branded experience for that new product that's being released going into Zoom. Right? So when they land on the dashboard, have a little bit of information, maybe have a sizzle reel on the new product if their marketing team has created one, have some resources that are potentially that are potentially accessible. And then once they get into Zoom, now your experience is Zoom, so it's nice and easy. And so that would be my thought. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to use that. You can use OBS with Zoom within Obvio, because Obvio's Zoom is really just Zoom. So no change there. If you're already using Zoom, you're probably using a virtual output or virtual camera output outside of OBS to bring audio and video from your presenters and the pre-recorded videos into your regular Zoom instances. All of that would work exactly the same with Obvio. So no changes there. But
yeah, that's what my tech person. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to stop here.
No worries.
Yeah, exactly. This is why it's always been in the back of my mind as we started this year. Our lead times have been pretty short, and we've just kind of done everything the way we've always done it. One thing that we have done, and I can't recall if Obvio does do this, or is this the specifics of the like a feature where you've got some digital kind of tagging of the person coming up with a question, or some title of the presenter coming on screen. Is that something that's run through Obvio or no?
If you're talking about like overlays, like lower thirds and things like that stuff would still be handled within OBS. Because that's how you're probably doing that right now, and that would continue to be the case going forward. Yeah, because we don't do any fancy Zoom overlays inside of our application. Okay.
Super.
How big are these events? How big are the events generally speaking?
Go to your Obvio website and find it.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking. We do run 4 sessions each day. There are 90-minute sessions, and I was going to say they're 90-minute sessions, and they like to cap it at 150. So we're, I would say some of the French language ones are a little smaller, but more around 50. But our max is 150.
Yeah. So you would probably be perfect on what's called the Pro plan, the middle of the road. It's $197 a month or $19.97 annually. And what I would do, was it onefreemonth.com? Is that what it is? I'm trying to remember what the trial is. Is that it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So if you want, Rose, just go to onefreemonth.com, and that will take you to the Obvio Pro free trial, which is 30 days, and it's a fully functional version of the application during that time.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and then just like we don't have a CRM, but we do have a LMS that all of the rest of their training is done through, and that's kind of where they sign up for training. And so those, like the way we've done it is we create the links, the Zoom links, and then those get uploaded to that platform, and they kind of sign up through there. And then have that regular Zoom sort of experience of reminder flow and all of that sort of jazz. So does that stay the same?
Not really. It's a little bit different. So what'll wind up happening is, in all likelihood, these are free for your participants, right? They're included in something, So what you'd probably do, just for simplicity's sake, is you'd probably link to the sign up page for attendees. And then they would just go into, they would get signed up for the next event. And you may consider using email reminders or the broadcast functionality inside of Obvio to set up and send email reminders directly through the platform so that you don't have to set them up. But all of that could be accomplished.
But am I understanding you that their sign up would still remain on my existing LMS? Because that's going to be a biggie for this client. Like they wouldn't want them to go somewhere else to sign up for the training, if you will. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I get it. So you'd have to figure out a way to connect do you know which LMS they're using?
I don't know. It's a, like it's a private supplier of theirs. Like I don't know. I could find out if it's an out of the box one or if it's enterprise built for them.
Yeah. So we'd probably need to figure out a way to get the two systems to talk to each other, but there's a bunch of different ways to do that. Whether it's Zapier and, when somebody signs up on their LMS, it triggers a Zap essentially, which is a little piece of middleware software that connects to Obvio and says, hey, John Smith from Ontario just signed up for next week's registration, and then we fire back communication. So there's probably a conversation with your tech team to determine whether or not we can make that connection so it's seamless for your participants. But we've had some that had to take a little bit of work, but I haven't found one yet that we haven't been able to make work. It's just a matter of how we make it work. But yeah, it's most likely doable.
Perfect. Okay. For the most part, I'm hearing 90% it's a go.
Cool.
So how would we work through some of those? How would this work, and can this work before we continue? Yeah. I would need to sort of have some of that ironed out.
Yeah, what I would probably do is sign up for the 30-day free trial, and during that 30-day window, we'd figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and once you're signed up, then we'll have you connect with our team and probably schedule a call with me or Grant, depending on where in the world you are, and we'll make that happen.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
Cool. I'm up here in Canada, as you know. You're a fellow Canadian. Born and raised, I think. So.
Yeah, I thought I heard
you
that.
Did.
Here, look.
Yeah, I'm in the Toronto area, so. Yeah, I saw the roots, man. Good for you. Wonderful. Cool. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem, Rose. All right. Any other questions, Justin?
None that have been submitted. Anyone on the call has a question, feel free to unmute and ask.
There's a question there in the chat from Christy, just about needing a separate Zoom account. And if you're using Obvio, then no, it's all included in the Obvio, in your Obvio account, which is cool.
Rose, I see your hand is back up. If you have another question, feel free to unmute. Get you unmuted here. There you go. Go ahead, Rose.
Thank you. Sorry, it just came to me. So when I sign up for that 1 month free, is there the site is just live? Is there some tutorial, how-tos or what have you that come with that, or what happens when you sign up for that month free?
Yeah, no worries.
I'm trying to get myself a little bit more familiar with it before we,
Sure. So
sign up
there's
a meeting or what have you with you guys, so we're not going in and wasting time.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So there is, and Rose, just so you know, I just turned off your video because it seems as though perhaps your cell service is or your data service is a little slow. So it's a little delayed. Maybe this helps a little bit. What I would say is we do have an onboarding workshop that you're welcome to actually watch before. And I think she's gone. No, there she is. You're welcome to actually watch before you sign up for the free trial. Justin, do you have the link to that? I know it's on the dashboard. I'm not in that right now. There it is. So if you can watch that, in your free time. And it's a really good foundation for the platform. Let me unmute you, Rose. Okay, I saw a thumbs up. All right, awesome. Sweet. Okay.
The other thing on the same thread is on the YouTube channel for Obvio, we also have a couple walkthroughs. If you wanted to see building on a dashboard, there's a walkthrough video of Jimbo and a walkthrough of Liz's, and then Grant actually did a walkthrough back in February 2024. So we've got 3 different walkthroughs that you could go through just to see how you might actually build out the dashboard and see some of the features within the platform. Those are anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour. The onboarding workshops, like 8 to 2 hour videos, about an hour of training and then some Q&A. The walkthroughs are a little bit shorter for you if you just want to see a little bit.
Yeah. The onboarding workshop is, if you buy that before, or if you watch that before you purchase, you'll probably know Obvio at this point better than we do. So
it's probably a discussion for another time. But Rose, I guess I would question more about what is it about Obvio that you can see will be beneficial for this use case. One of the things with the big difference, I think, from going from a Zoom meeting to Obvio is having that dashboard environment branded experience. Arguably, you've already got that in the LMS potentially. So I wonder where you see the use case, particularly of the dashboard. And so maybe it's a discussion for another time when there's a better connection, but that's what's gone through my mind.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's why I was asking, again, it was a few years ago that I was a participant myself, about some of the, on-screen engagement visually. But I think the engagement piece of Obvio would elevate what we currently have, which is pretty much a talking bear side with, if I can say it that way, not to say a talking bear, but that one-sided, presentation of here's all the facts about such and such, right? So the engagement right now is very minimal. As I said, questions in the chat, questions in the Q&A. We're just looking to change it, elevate it a little bit. Maybe there's some leaderboard type stuff we can add which again, I think Obvio is strong for, and different things like that. We're not going to breakout rooms in this thing, but again, with this client, there are other training opportunities that could utilize that kind of thing as well. So that's kind of the reason why Obvio is stuck in my head. Plus, I think it's a fabulous.
I was not trying to talk you out of it at all. It was just seeing exactly, where you see the benefits and stuff. And so there definitely is, particularly around building a more interactive dashboard experience that goes along for them. But yeah, as far as some of the things that you might have experienced in those events on Obvio before was more production and sort of on-screen things that we were doing essentially outside of Obvio. So, but it might have been that you were running webinar perhaps on the events before, where you didn't have everyone's cameras on, and so we always run in meeting, and so we have everyone's cameras on. I think it makes a big difference for these types of events.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. All right.
Hey, Becky, I see you've got your hand up.
Yeah, it might be a dumb question because you're probably gonna go whichever one you prefer. Which would you say would be the easiest and cleanest dashboard design?
Whichever one you prefer.
I know, I knew you were gonna say that.
Awesome.
The easiest one's cards.
Cards is easiest?
Yep.
Okay, what's the second one? Because I want a little bit. I mean, like I have a graphic and then 3 buttons.
The question is, what is the second easiest?
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'll look into cards.
So I'm going back. Given the fact that you don't like my answer, I am definitely going back with Grant's answer. Whichever you prefer, Becky.
I know. Well, I'm a graphic designer, so I'm like, but I also.
I'm not getting in the middle of this one then. Whichever you prefer, 100%.
No, I was trying yesterday. You're like, I'm a graphic designer. No, the problem is that, I mean, even with Joe Polish, way back then when I met him, and I like to make it all pretty and everything. And he's like, Becky, pretty doesn't sell. It's like, just make it functional and easy. And and that's really what we're teaching anyway, is the easiness of business, build a business that flows. And so, okay, well, I'll look in cards and then I think the other one, what's the bottom left, bottom middle or whatever? I don't know which one that one is. Okay.
Here's the great part for you, Becky. Every single feature that you are going to use, regardless of template, works the same on all the rest of the templates. They're just in different spots. Buttons are in different places, but the way you can style them, the rules, all those things are the same. So once you learn those basics, then it just becomes which one aesthetically looks more pleasing to what you want to do. The nice part is as well, if you go under where you select the template, there's a link to view sample dashboards, so you can view what it would look like with a built-out dashboard. And at the end of the day, just
without changing it over, right?
Yeah, without changing it over, it's just it'll launch a different web browser, and then you can just view what that template would actually look like with an Obvio sample dashboard, basically built for you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have mine ready next week for you guys to check out.
The one word of caution I will give you is if you decide you build out your whole thing in one template and then you want to change to a different template in that same event, there is a high likelihood that not everything will transfer from one template to the next template.
Yes, I've already learned that because I'm playing around with them, and so it's like, where'd my graphic go? So yep, got it. Thank you. It's fairly simple. I like it. I told you that a couple years ago.
We're fairly simple, Becky. So as a result of that, the platform needed to be.
We're simple.
I know. Yes. Especially.
I mean, if you think of it more as layouts, right? Because so much you can customize so much of the look and feel of each one, but it's the key layout that I mean, I lean so much towards classic all the time because it's just how I think. I kind of like it. But
I think that is the one I'm on right now, because that's the one that's just like this, right? It's like it's the one that has just the things underneath it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the simple, cleanest for me. All right. We'll have fun.
Cool.
There you go. Glad we could help you get to your answer.
Thanks. That makes a good coach.
All right. We got a couple questions that Amy submitted. First one, do I need to attach GHL to?
I turned off her chat. That's why. Amy, try posting something else in the chat just for fun. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Blue's testing more Obvio Zoom control stuff.
There it is.
But her question while we're waiting for that one is, does she need to attach GHL to each organization separately? I can take this one. For all of the services, it is at the event level, whether it's GHL or ClickFunnels or HubSpot, but you attach them all to each individual event.
Exactly what I needed to know. Yeah, so every time I try to put something in the chat, it just says Blue deleted a message.
You should be able to.
Blue.
You should be able to put stuff in the chat again.
Blue, why is Amy allowed to unmute?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly thought we kicked her out. I thought we kicked her out of the meeting entirely.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's awesome. Was there another question from Amy?
Like, what did I do?
And the next one from he's not related to Obvio, but she's wondering, is that an X pen in your office, Blue?
It is. Yep. It is. It doesn't help me. Helps me not at all. There's one in my office. There's one in Barry's office. And that little shit box still shits all over the place.
What about the dogs?
Yep, dogs too. Dog's a problem as well. You're not wrong on that.
Nice. Look at that. You can chat again. Right. Anyone else? Mm-hmm.
It is looking like we are good to go for today, Grant.
Mm-hmm. It does. Unless Blue wants to test any other features.
You know, I've got a whole bunch of things kind of on the go right now. But that was my primary. I wanted to see if the mute button would work. And it did.
It does.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I don't like the fact that it tells her that I deleted the message, but whatever.
Well, it doesn't say that to us. It says.
I do now have a question. How are you doing that? Are you just? Is that just a Zoom feature?
No, it is part of the new Obvio app that we're working on. The actual the new Obvio Zoom controller.
So you can keep certain people from posting in the chat.
Yeah, it's interesting. Zoom, despite our best efforts, I don't know why. I mean, they're just a multinational multi-billion dollar corporation. I don't know why they don't listen to us. But despite our best efforts, you can do two things inside of meeting chat. And I think I know why they kind of refuse to do this. I'm guessing you can do, I don't know if you can do this in event or webinar, Grant. Can you turn off somebody like an individual's chat in webinar or event?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, crappy feature. Anyway, you can either turn off the chat or turn on the chat, and it's for everyone. How many of you are coming in? You're just checking to see how many it'll run before it falls over?
It was more about like, are they slightly out of sync as well?
No,
It's about
They're
right.
all a little bit different, aren't they?
Yeah.
Huh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I got distracted by Grant continuing to pop in here.
Just that they don't allow you to.
Oh yeah, they don't allow you
someone's.
to mute one person's chat. So we've been working on an application that does a number of things. I've been testing it for a couple of weeks on Leap calls. You guys, I'm pretty sure I irritated Kat the other day when it kept turning off her camera because she was out of frame. So one of the things that it does is it turns off the camera of people who are not in the frame, when they're not of specific people, when there is no face in the frame. And then another thing that we're testing is chat moderation, the ability to turn off one individual person's chat messages. They can still technically chat. How it's functionally working is they send the chat and then it immediately deletes their chat. So, it's kind of like it's a fake, or it's a hack to Zoom's lack of features on the chat side, because the chat technically does show up for a moment and then disappears. Yeah, well, so Avatar, it's funny, Justin, that you say that. One of the things that I've been thinking about doing, I think that's a feature set. Like, I think you can actually technically disable people from being able to use avatars. And I kind of want to add that as part of the Zoom settings that we have. Because I know we have a lot of clients who hate that, like who hate avatars and are like, how do we turn that off? So that's on my list. But honestly, I'd rather an avatar than no face.
Yeah. Or a ceiling fan.
Yeah, exactly. A ceiling fan. Isn't that awesome? I love it. It's like, oh, that's so glad your camera's on. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Or a black screen. No, like they've put something over the camera, but it's still turned on.
Yeah, or those little fink, 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 those things that like shut off the camera. It's awesome.
What noise does that make?
Beep, 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 beep. You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to break it now.
How many are you adding in?
No, I was just trying to get the gallery view. I think the gallery monitor running on multiple instances.
Oh, that'd be fascinating to see if that works. Everybody hang out for a couple moments. And in fact...
It is.
Let's see.
And yours is still working too, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look in Zoom, there's now 4 active streams. Grant, host, going to YouTube. And it tells you it's going to the Obvio gallery monitor.
That's cool. That's better than it just saying a custom.
Yeah. And it's clickable, which it just takes you to Obvio. But that's something that you can...
Well, that's good.
Make a fix.
We're geeking out now. Please don't feel obligated to stay around.
Can you get 4 in?
Oh, sure.
Can you get 5 in? What are you on? What kind of computer are you on?
55. A Mac Studio.
Oh, please. You could get.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you
Becky,
mean you're not hanging around?
It's so much better if you stay.
I know. I'm one of those people. I'm a very fast, like if I get an idea, I'm like, boom, I got like everything done in a couple days. So it's like, I'm going off the checklist. Oh, I do have a question. Blue.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The checklist. I know this is not obvious, but the checklist, for the 3 phases for the checklist for an event.
Oh yeah.
Why would when the resources, why is it sending me to Obvio to check in? Well, it is an Obvio question. Why is it making me go to Obvio then checking in and then not giving me the resource?
I have no idea.
There are several things.
Would you do me a favor? Would you email Elizabeth that? And then that way she'll probably check in with me, but then that way I can actually dig into it, because I'm not 1,000% sure what we're talking about.
The actual checklist that the 90-day timeline checklist. So
the
it's one of the
timeline checklist. It's not going to a Google Drive, like a Google Doc.
No, the big why, the right fit client, and the event, anything in the OB journey, it's taking me to go log into Obvio, and then just takes me to my events, and I'm like, huh?
That is kind of weird. I don't have.
Yeah, it is.
I don't have a reasonable answer for that.
Yeah, I don't either, and I don't know if it's. I don't know, but I mean, I'm trying to get through that first phase with this week, and the other stuff does. The advanced level moves and the templates seem to work, but it's whatever's an OB journey is taking me to Obvio and trying to put me into the events. And I'm like,
can you copy paste the link that you're looking at inside of inside the chat? Yeah, because it sounds to me like the link may be going to the old. Wait. No, not that. That's where it's taking you. Where are you clicking on it from?
Okay, let me give it to you. By the way, I'm a total tech nerd too, so I like the tech nerd stuff. I nerd out a lot.
Sweet. Okay, so you're saying in the spreadsheet itself.
Yes. Anytime I click on that big Y right fit client, it's taking me to go log into the events in Obvio.
I see what's going on. Yeah, so they haven't, for some reason, those are not linked. So do you see how it says Obvio Organization 428 OB? Those links are wrong. I see what you're saying. I will talk to the team and get those links corrected. It won't fix your version because the spreadsheet that you just sent.
Yeah, it would be in the main one, and I can copy and paste it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get that fixed.
Because I'm working on my own thing. By the way,
cool.
Love this checklist.
Sweet. I'm glad you like it.
Yes.
You're at
Blue,
5 of you, Grant.
While you're fixing that, in phase 2, the offer creation also links over to OB.
The wrong OB? The old OB?
Yes, the wrong OB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was going crazy. I thought maybe I'm logged in somewhere wrong. Like, I don't know where the event is. So,
Jaylene, no, I would not. And the reason for that is that Obvio's templates are they have strict constructs that you can't work around easily. I'll just say it that way. And using Replit for even just to design a concept for the dashboard, you would need a very, very, very specific prompt that kept Replit within the confines or within the guardrails of the template. Because otherwise what you're going to get is a great looking dashboard on Replit. It's going to be like, oh my God, this is awesome. All right, then you're going to come onto this call and say, okay, how do I create this in Obvio? And we're going to say, yeah, you can't. So Obvio's templates are very kind of strict and guardrailed for a reason that relates not necessarily to something that affects you or me, but for really, really, really big events, we made a choice, like a structural decision really early on, to keep a template format, not just a free form page builder format. Yeah, it does. What you could potentially do is, again, this would need a this would need a very specific prompt. Whereas what we went through yesterday, where I was showing you more of Grant just keep popping up, where I was showing you how to use Replit and how to prompt it. I basically wasn't giving you any very structured prompts. I was just saying, just tell it what you want and it'll do it. But if you want to keep it inside the lane, right? Like you have to keep it inside a specific lane with templates, then you have to be very specific about your prompt. So what you could do is you could take like a really detailed screenshot of like a sample template, like the sample templates in Obvio, and upload it to Replit and say, I'm using this platform, it's templatized, so we can't vary too much from the design in this platform, on this page, but all of the elements can be updated. All of the elements can be changed. The colors can be changed. The images can be changed. How would you update that, right? So you could do something like that to give a guideline for what is possible, but I would just be cautious because you may get excited about something that looks incredible and you can't recreate it inside of Obvio. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like Amy's question, Grant. You're welcome. Can you wear a different hat in each one of your videos? That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how as you add the additional streams, even though we're no longer host or I'm not even host anymore, right? Because you've reclaimed host and not giving me co-host, I can still see it.
Mm.
Yeah, because I've got that running as well.
I can't find
You're at
which
6.
one I'm unmuted in. There we go.
Yeah, but like I don't like how this one looks. I'm just going to turn it off. Oh no, I can't do that. It's because I don't have co-host capabilities anymore. Cool.
Ooh.
So Blue, going back to the avatar thing, would it be interesting to see if we can turn them off? I found the Zoom article that says how to turn them off, but that setting doesn't exist in my 3 Zoom accounts. I'm like, did they get rid of the setting? Or is it you got to have a certain level? But at the same time, I did see a feature when I searched for avatars for their AI companion that you can create custom avatars and have them read scripts. I've not tried it, but I thought that was kind of a interesting new feature that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite sure I really want a little cartoon avatar reading scripts that I would give to somebody in a Zoom clip.
Right? I don't know. Oh, Grant, what are you doing over there? We're down to only 4.5 of you.
Thinking that Mac Studio could support easily 25, 50 people. Come on.
Oh, it is a M1 Max. It's a little bit older now, but
at least 25.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
It's doing fine.
That M1 Max, if you turn off incoming video, because if you turn off incoming video and
how I know it says,
and just have outgoing audio and video, you can probably peak over. You can probably get to 100. What did we get to on my Mac? Like because I have an M1.
30, 25.
No, the M1 Max, when you and I were testing one night, I think we got to like 98 or something like that.
That's right, yeah. Yep.
So probably sounded insane, but
I was running the
still work.
Gallery monitor on all of them as well and turned it on. I mean,
what did your CPU usage look like?
Oh, it's still not too bad. System 18, idle 48, user 36, 40%. So like, give me something hard to do. Ooh. Oh. Oh, that's funny. I was trying to use I was trying to use another camera, my phone in a continuity camera, but that takes a few seconds to kick in, and and so before it goes black, and then the gallery monitor turns off the video before it gets a chance to
Oh, so you have
on.
everything turned on.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I got, there we go. There we go. Anyway, sorry, we're geeking out right at the end here, but this is actually it's quite exciting. What Blue has built with this app is pretty amazing. I think everyone will enjoy using it eventually.
You see, we got a download link that now links to the most recent version. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. Thought you're getting close.
I got it to crash today or yesterday. But it was doing something. It was doing something stupid. So I opened up breakout rooms with a tag filter on a group of rooms. Later, Amy. And when I deleted the filter while the breakout rooms were open, and it did not like that, and it took a header off a cliff.
So what are you doing?
Yeah, like what? What? Which it did make me think, all right, so let's put some. So there's a couple of guardrails in place now that I've added in. So like when breakout rooms are open,
on the cliff.
Yeah, basically when breakout rooms are open, you can't modify filters like the tag and group based filters, and you also can't delete them. And then if breakout rooms are created but not open, you can remove filters, but it gives you a little notification that basically says, hey, this you're probably going to need to open and recreate rooms in order for these filters to take effect. So and then if somehow you manage to close the filter or delete the filter, it won't crash because that's also been fixed. So the the underlying is fixed, and then some guardrails so that it should, because that shouldn't happen anyway.
So, I just noticed that the host tools, as an example, don't update.
Only the chat. The others do. You want to know why?
No, across the not from the main.
Are you host in the one that you're doing it? Because you only have one host right now, or two out of your 6 attendees are co-host.
Oh, well, that's interesting, right? Because then host tools. Do you think host tools should disappear?
There's a few places where it is. Like I noticed today when I was showing somebody something, when they took control, I could still open the breakout controller. There's certain things that need to not happen. So there's it's not crashing anything, but it's still letting you open the breakout control.
Meeting control confirming whether you are host or co-host or nothing would be nice.
Yeah. I can put something in there.
Because
where do you want it?
My rename failed. Yeah. Because then you could actually hide the host tools if you're not a co-host.
Yeah, or gray them out with a little like, hey, you're not currently host. These changes won't take effect.
Well, and when I've got 6 meeting control windows open, it'd be nice to know which one's the host.
There is that. But at least you know which one's which instance.
That's cool. Yeah, I do like that. Although the first one confused me.
Because it doesn't tell you?
Yeah.
And then
Later,
the
Rose.
tricky part
nice
is
to have you with us.
Yes, thank you, Rose. And then the tricky part for this too is, as a co-host, you can update most of the host tools. Actually, I think you might be able to update all the host tools, and you do most of the host functions. But you can't rename people, and you can't make co-hosts.
You can't rename another co-host, but you can rename an attendee.
Yeah. Yes, that is true. Yes, there's some nuances in what we can and can't do as host versus co-host.
Yeah, I haven't put a rename. The only rename function that exists in the app is to rename yourself. Like there's no right click and rename in the participants pane. That still would have to be done through the native UI.
Perfect.
What
are you laughing at?
Anything else that we need to the test? I know we still got
Bill
and Jaylene just hanging out
for another hour,
watching us geek out.
Yeah. It's like, how can I make it more of an inception here?
Oh, geez, what are you doing?
By sharing. Okay.
Yeah, I just get to see a little quadrant screen with nothing on it.
Ah, right. That's interesting. You couldn't see any of the... Well, that's interesting. Oh, I had there's 20 windows open that I was sharing, but they're all technically in Zoom, so they weren't sharing. But that's interesting that even your custom windows, Blue, are not considered that as well. So it's the whole app, I guess. The whole, I just shared screen, but you couldn't see any of the app because of the Zoom sharing.
Yeah, and I can't, it's not, isn't that setting,
it's like an account
isn't that an
setting?
account setting?
Yeah.
Is it an account setting? Huh.
Two. Cool.
You know, it is an account setting. I bet you I can turn this on.
Yeah. And may have to restart.
Oh, most likely. All right, it's on.
I'll try it.
Probably won't work until... Oh, wow, it did work. Oh, Jesus. What is happening?
Well, it'll be the It'll be the inception. That was what I was going to show this one. Oh, that's interesting. That one. That's not showing. I've got 5 across the top. And this here is missing. It's not sharing.
What, 4?
Yeah. Instance 4. Yeah.
Are you sharing from 4 or are you sharing from...
I don't know. That's what I was laughing at before.
So many things.
So I was laughing at before when I clicked share. It said, because I wasn't a host, it was like, do you want to ask the host? I was like, yes. And then it popped up on another one.
In like 17 places.
Yeah.
I'm now going to ask myself for permission. May I do this? Yes, you may.
Now, I appreciate your stamina, Jaylene, to hang in here. And
it's just kind of accountability for me. I figure if having people around sometimes helps just to stay focused. So yeah, sort of listening, sort of not.
Little hangout.
I would be sort of not listening if I was you.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think we've had our fun.
Yeah, thanks for all the answers and inspiration, really, on a lot of levels.
Good. Yeah, sometimes I think that just hearing questions, right? The types of questions that people ask can get you thinking about other things. So
yeah, sorry,
helpful.
That's part of it. Yeah, hearing the questions helps. It's like, oh, I didn't even think about that, or didn't know what that was, or
yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Well, have a great day, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, you too, Jaylene.
Found the right one. All right. Okay, I found the host.
I know it's here somewhere. Which one am I?
I'll shut it down here. I don't know if Bill is still around. Justin, do you want to meet quickly? Blue, have you got a couple of minutes?
Yeah, you want to stop the live stream and just meet here?
Sure. Maybe.
As soon as he exits the other 10 hosts that he can't find.
I know, that's the thing. It'll be easier for me just to end this meeting because then it'll clean up my whole computer. I'll just send